What is going on, community? It is TJ, aka Flash by Night. Um, and we are here live. It's my first time being live in a while, but I wanted to hop on really quick, show off a couple of books, or a few books I've gotten recently, since the new comic book day, and also a couple of books I got back from CBCS. But first, I want to acknowledge who has already shown up in the chat. Um, let's see. We got what is it? Gamblitzum. Is that right? Do I have that right? Gamblitzum. What is going on? Let's see. Evils Comics. How are we doing, sir? How are we doing? And of course, we got Capital Comics in the house. How are we doing, sir? Uh-oh. And there is Southern Comic Geek. How are we doing, sir? Thank you for stopping by. So yeah, um, I picked up a couple of books. Nothing big, nothing fancy. Since New Comic Book Day, and I also got a couple of books back from CBCS that I'm going to show you. So we'll start off with the light stuff first. Um, so I said earlier on this week, or I guess last week. How are we doing, Mr. Trent Stewart? What's going on? Oh, there we go. So I said earlier this week that one thing I did as a young reader and not yet collecting is that I read all of Joshua Williamson's Flash run, starting at Flash Rebirth, but a lot of those books I sold because young, getting money, putting it back into buying more books. But then I thought to myself, I'd really like not every book I want to keep, but I'd really like to have as much of that Joshua Williamson run as I can get back. And so as I come across them in dollar bins and such, I pick up Joshua Williamson Flash books. And so I got a couple of variants. I think there's just B covers, but I have Flash issue number 70. And I also have, and I like this one actually. I've got Flash issue number 67. Like I said, I'm trying to come back around and get some of those Flash books that I sold off earlier, and I kind of like those too. Next book I picked up, I grabbed from a dollar bin. And I was surprised it was there because these books, fetch a few pennies. They're not really expensive, but I grabbed this Marvel Fanfare issue number 38 with, I don't know what this is. I have to read this. I don't know what this is, Choking Moon Knight, but something has Moon Knight in its grasp. And so we're going to read this and find out what's going on. And we have Mr. Nick's Kicks and Comics. I can't help myself. Hey, yo. All right. There we go. And then I missed it on Wednesday, but I went back and grabbed DC Infinite Frontier issue number 1. It's kind of probably trying to be the glue to this whole new omniverse, multiple multiverses thing, this new thing where I didn't really think about this as I've been reading the past few years, but I guess regular people didn't know that there was a multiverse. It was only I know a few select heroes that knew there was a multiverse. Now, like the world, like your next door neighbor, knows that there's a multiverse. Your boss knows that there are multiple hims or hers around the multiverse, and people are learning this, and so this book is kind of, I guess, supposed to be the glue, and also lead up to some sort of crisis. There's always a crisis at DC, but that's what this book is doing. Um, in particular, I enjoyed catching up with and I don't know much about Alan Scott, but I enjoyed seeing Alan Scott in this book. And also, if you know me, if you ever see me on here, you know, well, you can look at my name and see. Um, Barry Allen Flash is in this book, and he meets up with a villain that we have not seen in a while. It's really a surprise meeting, and I'll leave that. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hadn't read it yet. But Infinite Frontier #1 um, is really interesting. You may need to read Dark Knight's Death Metal in order to really get it. I have to go back and read the last part of Death Metal. Um, I was reading Death Metal and I skipped a few issues, and then I got 6 and 7. And before I can read 6 and 7, I heard that 7 I think is the cameo of Yarflor, and then I didn't want to open my book. That's how it goes. But I think that leads into Infinite Frontier, which is kind of a glue book, I think, for the Omniverse, and also cool Roy Harper moment at the end of this. So yeah, things are good. Now for the soup du jour, and after I oh, check out Geek Out with Roscoe. Roscoe, how are you doing? Oh, and I appreciate everybody stopping by. I know this is a busy and this is a hot night. So I appreciate everybody stopping by and hanging out with me. We got playoffs going on and awards shows and other YouTube shows and all these good things happening. And so in the immortal words of Jay-Z, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I appreciate that. All right, so we've got this box from CBCS, and it has 2 books in it. And so I'm going to try to open this box up and get to these books without looking at it. I've only done 1 or 2 unboxings, so uh, chances are I won't get everything 100% correct. We'll see how it works. They're giving me all kind of extra paper, which is great. Make sure everything's safe. Let's see. And what I did was I actually sent these books off with the 2-day modern grading, and it worked out pretty well. I sent them off Saturday. They got to CBCS by Monday, and by Thursday or Friday, I got the email saying that it was ready to ship back out. So it wasn't a perfect 2 days, but it was really quick. All right, now we have a whole bunch of bubble wrap, which again is good. Let's see, what are we doing? Let's see. We figure out how to unwrap this thing. The worst thing about good wrapping is that it's hard to get into. Oh. Yeah. Next time, I'm going to completely open this box and unwrap everything and not take so much time because this is a killer. Like, you know how they talk about on radio, you shouldn't have dead air. Well, I feel like a whole bunch of dead air right now because I am wrestling with this tape and bubble wrap, and the tape and bubble wrap are winning. All right, let's see. One more piece of tape, I think, and I think we are all clear. All right. And I'm going to try not to look at the grades on the book. There we go. We're clear. Let's see if I can try not to look at the grades on the books. Oh, I might as well tell you. What happened was I got a couple of exclusives for Bunny Mask #1. I jumped out like maybe a month before Bunny Mask #1 came out, there were some exclusives on sale, and they were like 2 and 300 print counts for I think like $39. And I'm thinking to myself, if Bunny Mask is good, then grabbing these two exclusives that are 200 and 300 print count, and plus the covers are great, but that is a good move for me. And so I grabbed these two, and let's see, which one do we have here? Is this the? I think this is the color one. I think this is the color version of this cover. Let me move over my cord here. I think this is the color version of this cover. Kind of got the, oh, if I can get rid of the glare. You kind of got the character from Bunny Mask #1, who wasn't, the glare is killing me. There we go. Who wasn't who I thought it was. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Oh, 9.8. That is great. That is great because I sent these in straight from from the retailer. I didn't have them pressed or anything. I got them. I looked at them when I got them, and I'm like, you know what? These don't look half bad at all. Well, I won't say don't look half bad because that's not a great thing to send even quarter bad books to get graded. But they didn't look bad. I didn't see anything wrong with them, so I sent them in without pressing, and yeah, we got a 9.8 going. So that's cover #1, and book #2 is pretty much the same book, but with okay, the same book with my receipt in it. That is not what I was looking for. That's what I get for trying not to see the grade. I don't know what kind of information I just gave away. Now stalkers are going to come to my house because they saw my information in my book. Let's see what else we have. Okay. They also sent back my they sent back my oh, what are these little things called? Certificates yeah, they sent back my certificates of authenticity. And so we're gonna take a look at, let's see. I still have stuff in there. This is the worst, most unprofessional CGC or CBCS, I'm sorry, CBCS unboxing I think anybody has ever seen. So all right, there we go. So we got the pretty much the same kind of cover. This was the 200 print count, and as you can see, it is black and white. It's just kind of coming out of the painting there. When you read Bunny Mask #1, you kind of get why they've got the Bunny Mask character coming out of the painting in this cover. On this cover, you kind of get the sense why that is once you read the book. But Bunny Mask #1, for anybody who hasn't read it, is a great start to this story. But we are going to check out and see what our grade may be for this book here, and it is a 9.8. 9.8. There we go. That is great. So I got two 9.8s on these Bunny Mask comics. I'm actually surprised that it came back like that. I'm genuinely tickled right now. This is great. So those are my two books. You've got Bunny Mask #1, the color portrait version, which is 300 print count. And then you have Bunny Mask #1, the black and white, which I cannot. There we go. There we go. That's how you get rid of the glare. Got to turn it sideways. Yeah. So you have Bunny Mask #1, 9.8, 200 print count. Let's see. Yeah, I was surprised. I've been telling anybody who would I've been telling a lot of people that just by my guesstimation, that with all of the issues that CGC has had, basically since the pandemic, I don't, I won't throw a whole heap of blame at them, because companies during the pandemic have all had problems. Some people have stepped up to the plate. Some people haven't done as well, and I don't. They may not done. They may not have done as well adjusting to the pandemic, but they have had issues, some quality control issues, and they've definitely been backed up. And you see a lot of people saying that they're going to move from CGC to CBCS. But when I read the tea leaves, it sounds like CGC is like 10 times bigger than CBCS, or at least their submissions are like 10 times greater than CBCS's. And so in my mind, if people are really, even like 20 to 25% of people are really following through with their threats to leave CGC and go to CBCS, then that is going to really delay CBCS, because CBCS doesn't, at least right now, doesn't seem like they have the capability to handle that much of an influx. Like that 25% of CGC would like double or triple CBCS's output immediately. But that being said, they are still doing a wonderful job. Um, I have not taken these out to look and see if they are. Yeah, I really don't see a whole lot, and this works better without the bag. There we go. I really don't see a whole lot in this slab. Hmm. All right, and this is my first time also kind of handling it and seeing how sturdy it is, because people always talk about how sturdy these CBCS cases are, and they really are. But yeah, all in all, I'm pleasantly surprised that the timing was still what it was. And yeah, kudos on CBCS, not because I got two 9.8s, but kudos on them for still being timely, when frankly I thought that by now they'd get more business and be more backed up and have to make some significant changes. But they haven't yet, and we'll see how that goes. But that is all I wanted to do. I wanted to pop on really quick and show the two books I got from CBCS, my two bunny masks. I have two 9.8s, which is great. And yeah, I appreciate everybody that stopped by. Um, my live experience was pretty good. I haven't gone live in a few weeks because of scheduling and things, but I'm going to try to do it more often. And I appreciate everybody who stopped by to watch. But we are going to call it a night here. As oh, where we as my banner says, there we go. Go find and follow the PCP Bad Batch. And besides that, I hope everybody loves yourselves, love others, be good to each other, and I will be back in a flash.